Drop you. Boy, I'll smack you. I'm going up here.
Okay, be careful because I'm down here and I can't get up there.
Don't worry, I'll survive.
And if you don't, I'll go down here.
You won't be able to make it up here. Look how far we are apart.
Oh look, we can only get 30 wood.
Yeah, I know, it's dumb. At least the ammo isn't minimized.
Why would it be minimized? Dude, that's flint new. Dude, I've got a flint flute.
You legit need to try and get the max every mat so you're dead, straight up. I've only got 50 mats right now. I've only got 30. I think the max for brick is like 20.
The max for brick is 20.
Yeah, it is. It's 30, 30, 20.
No, don't you mean 30, 20, 20?
Oh yeah, true.
Dude. So I'm guessing I'm in there.
What?
Can you keep that AR for me? That, probably should have gone the first one.
Do you want an AK or a grey AR? Green AK.
Okay, I'll just take the green AK. I need to get down this mountain somehow. Actually, you know what I can just do? Oh, there's someone over there.
Don't fight! Don't you dare fight! Don't fight! Don't fight! What do you want about? It could be a duo! I'll legit be down there in like 2 seconds.
Or it could be no one. Are you kidding me? There was a shotgun here. Okay, I see them. They're all.
Don't you dare!
No, I'm not going to them. They're over there. And that's one dude, by the way. So.
Don't you dare!
I'm not going to.
We'll fight together, okay? Let me just get down to you. Shall jump off the mountain.
Okay, I've got maximum mats. Have you? Oh yeah, the green AK.
I wish I was just doing this right now, but I can't.
Okay, so I presume that I would have been heading to the circle, so we sort of skate around.
Bro, I've got a campfire. Of course it's this easy to get a campfire.
Oh, you kidding? Okay, there's a med kit right here. I don't know what I can hold this for.
Yeah, it was building this way. Maybe up there.
It could have been looting. Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna quickly go up like high. See, no, it doesn't look like this is looted. Let's. Yeah, boy. Or some more shadow bombs. Nice. In case I fall off this thing again. Remember last night how I fell off this, but I hit into the thing? Your chest, your chest. Nothing good was in it.
Except for these impulses, but. Okay, well, I'm gonna go down the quick way.
I'm gonna use this so I can get to circle quicker. Actually, no, I'm gonna use the driftboard. Can I use the driftboard? And you use the flyy?
Why?
Because I'd rather use a driftboard.
Okay. As soon as we get in, we can use the driftboard because it will make too much noise. I also need a shotgun. You know.
That was the worst fly I've ever seen.
Okay, I got a shotgun.
Oh my god, I just went... Bro, look at my screen. Look at my screen.
Wait, are you gonna be able to get down?
Yeah, I'm on the driftboard.
Oh, what?
Bro, what the? I landed up in the tree. I went to fly over to you and I landed up in the tree. What was that? Oh, it was the cord. Grab it. This is only on one. Wait, hold on. Can I stop recording real quick? And then disable mic for phone sounds?
Don't you need to stop? You can just...
but we had those 4 wins. So I was like, in those end games, we were on high ground and we were like, hey man, we got to slay out. Like we have to. Like it's now or never. And then I don't know. I was just I wasn't really nervous, but I mean, it was kind of going through my head.
I was nervous at the beginning, but then as we kept going through, I stopped getting less and less nervous.
Now, Calc, you've had like not a rocky relationship, but you've had a very unique relationship with that Fortnite community. Do you think that there's a new level of respect for that young Calc, you know, word out there on the streets? Like, how do you feel right now? Like, how ecstatic do you feel in terms of recognition?
I am so excited. I am so happy.
We don't need to boost his ego anymore. None of that.
Well, gentlemen, I think it is deserved slightly, a little bit of boost of that ego because you are going to New York, so we're going to see you there. But I do want to give you guys one more chance to, you know, shout anything out you want, and also your socials. Make sure you get those plugs in there. Calculator, we'll start with you.
Follow young_calc on Twitter.
That's it. Young_calc on Twitter. Macwood, what's up?
My Twitch is COL Macwood, and then my Twitter is @COL_Macwood.
Well, there you have it, guys. We will see you in New York, and as we always say, we'll have to grab a slice. But thank you so much, and congratulations. We'll see you there. We have NA West up on deck, guys. Thank you so much for that interview. But this is going to be the last spot up for GrabShy, and we're going to go ahead and take a sneak peek at the standings that are currently unfolding because the action is underway. So here it is, and again, I mean, time and time again, it's always Arcrum and Falconer on top, but then the rest of these guys are all fighting because Arcrum and Falconer have already qualified. And the rest of these guys as well. Landrock and Punisher, all of a sudden they're on West, but again, they've already qualified too. So the rest of these guys playing for that one spot.
What I find really interesting is Epic Will is actually doing with 40R Storm. Usually it's him and Sealmat, right? All there side by side. So everyone's switching up for week 10. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how things get down, break down. And I'm excited to get going.
I mean, that's the kind of staple duos of NA West right now are well, splitting up at the same time. Epic Will normally playing with Sealmat. Here at 40R Storm, they both actually qualified in solos. So this switch could be an opportunity to triple qualify. I mean, in week 8, they have been playing out of their mind. It's crazy. We saw Aiden and Sean qualify, but the rest of these guys as well, Kayun and Takata, had such an amazing run throughout the rest of the weeks. But I mean, I think we want to get in the action because we just kicked up the dust. I want to see who's standing when all is said and done, when that dust is settled. So we are going to have Shayo joining the cast, and of course, Pookie on the other side. Guys, the stakes are set, and the floor is yours.
Awesome.
Stakes are set, Vala. We are about to hop in to our first set of NA West games. Shy, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good, pretty hyped. It's been a fun time. I'm excited to see how the West Brawl goes down. Excited to cast with you as well. So we can get right to it. Games are ready. I'm excited to hop in. Let's jump on that battle bus.
Let's go.
Awesome.
Now, hilariously enough, Shy and I were talking a little bit earlier in our little caster room that, you know, Zeke likes to just, you know, hog for himself, take up all the space on the couch. But we were talking and we realized that we actually live within 10 minutes of each other.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's a small world and a fun world as well. So, you know, content coming out on the
Content is going to be created. We can tell you that much. But here we are taking a look at some content here coming out of Jacob and his partner, Dizzle. They are on the edge of Shifty Shafts here, holding very good high ground, using that advantage to rain down shots on their opponents.
Absolutely. Look at their classic loadout as well. Looks like it's a nice heavy sniper Scar combat in there. Not many new items up in the mix. We've got the classic minis. Looks like they might have not found any chug splashes for them, as I think that's really strong. One thing to point out as well is 6 elims on Dizzle and then 4 on Jacob. That's 10 total at the moment, and we're just getting into that 5th zone closing. About 2 hours left on NA West. So it's going to be very exciting to see who qualifies with that one spot for this region.
Yeah, and there we see Jacob taking a perfect shot with a heavy sniper there, taking out Sinnoh like it's nobody's business. Now, he is going to have to be careful here. He is taking a little bit of time to peek, but it doesn't matter. He did pick up that elimination there. That's an international snipe, as Sinnoh's usually playing on those Asian servers, switching over to West just to get a better chance of popping off, as the region is a lot more aggressive and consistent at most times. Aim backup goes down. Could not find that hard drive to pick up the aim or game sense in that situation. A big bop coming in. Dizzle catching his builds open, going for that finish. Smart plays. Is it possible? White health getting hit on the storm line. Backup finally goes down. Dizzle
picks up that elimination.
And nobody punishing these guys right now, Shy. They're on ultimate high ground, just standing out in the open, just exposing themselves, raining down shots, and nobody is wanting to really punish them for these actions right now. You can see Dizzle taking a ton of time to peek. It is kind of a rough angle, but there are so many players across the river over there that would have the freest of shots on them right now, but it doesn't matter. Dizzle comes out with another heavy snipe. Dizzle and Jacob just going to town with these heavy snipe shots.
Absolute marksman here. He hasn't actually missed, I don't think, the last 3 shots, all intended to go exactly on target. That elimination getting picked up. He's not going to be in the air. 13 total elims for these guys across the board, and they find high ground to connect to as well, giving them the next best position for the next zone moving in. The 6th zone being one of those zones where if you have control and you retain control with a little bit of space, you can just run away with the whole game.
And Dizzle recognizing that and playing that perfectly, trading just 10 health and utilizing his builds to reinforce the high ground there. Does get dropped down a little, but is going to still be an ultimate high ground. Jacob, his partner, is just below him, a few tiles down, but is using a shadow bomb to make sure he gets up beside Dizzle, make sure they are together. They do still have that rift to go, so staying together right now is key. Just like that, using the rift to go to get out of a sticky situation. You love to see it.
Absolutely. One thing we do notice about West, which is kind of different from East, EU, OCE, and BR even, is that this current moment is a lot of people will stick to the storm and actually take damage to push for that elimination. As we all know, it's one spot. You can play your best, but sometimes you have to play above your best potential as well, which is what Dizzle's trying to do, hovering out, seeing if he can kind of expose any possible angles near the backside of the storm, getting into someone's box. Dizzle really low, finally going down, taking out one of the meta boys. He's going to see if his duel can clutch it out now. Jacob, where are you at?
Yeah, Jacob is absolutely on the other side right now. I don't even think he's going to have the opportunity to get Dizzle up. He does make his way over to him, but it is unfortunately going to be too late. Jacob is going to have to say, Dizzle, you're going to get left out in the storm, literally. Here we have Rizzo here, and Brogster just taking out Bluey with the combat shotgun. We see this time and time again. These guns are so strong. The way that they are utilized by these players in both close combat as well as range when they are picking out kills from the sky. We have Brogster here looking for more targets, using the edits, staying close to his partner, who's also raining down shots. Shy, there's so much going on, the chaos.
It's insane. Brogster has that classic loadout as well, a gray AR and a combat with shields. Pookie, what do you think the type of pressure these guys feel when this is all they have? No backup, no rifts.
It's so difficult. You know, you have to be very aware of your surroundings. You need to know where every player around you is, because like we just see right here, if you have to waterfall down and get out, you need to know that there's nobody below you that's going to try and shoot you out or you know, possibly inflict any amounts of damage on you. But Fisco up at the top here, backup, his part is up to him. They have 3 eliminations, 20 points between the two of them. Before he goes down, is going to get... What? I'm going to net myself one more.
Baka was actually... Now the roles are reversed. Now they have high ground, Pookie. Coming through, the use of mobility at the right times. Jacob nowhere to be seen anymore. Big action moment happening. Finishes off on Alec. As much as possible. He's going to start popping it now to stay a little bit stealthy in zone. Fisco set him up. It was a setup the whole time. The L-Dance follows up as well. Really nice last-second judgment call from Fisco there. He could have got that med kit off, but decided to just straight up jump out, go for that shot. That was sick.
Boop got booped.
Boop got booped. Absolutely.
He did. But look at these builds, absolutely wild. Whenever you see different points of elevation there on the map, you know these players are all going to be utilizing their materials to their fullest to make sure their rotations are strong. But here we are in the next match. We have Nolan here. We have Vibes on 60 hertz. Somebody get this man a 144 monitor. Come on.
Hey, sometimes these guys could be fronting, you know, you see that name in the feed, you might get a little bit of confidence, you might overpeak, and then they come straight out with their actual hertz and bop you up.
Oh, I like it. The puns. Is that a Canadian thing? Are puns a Canadian thing? Do you love puns too?
I love puns too.
You know, I'm infamous.
Hey,
for my
really?
Pookie
Okay.
puns, right?
Pookie puns.
You know that?
Let's see if we can make
I
some.
feel like we need to try really hard right now. I know production loves when I make all puns.
I love the puns. I love the puns. But these guys also love results. Still one spot left for all of them. Spraying on metal might not be too effective. He does have the stinks here. Pookie, how would you think Vibes should use these stinks going forward into this game? What's the drawbacks of using them before and then after, later and earlier?
I mean, he knows that he has the down over there, but it doesn't matter. He ended up taking out Bucky anyway. The thing with stinks is you need to really be sure of when you're using them. You know, I know we've talked a little bit about this in the past, but the smaller the zone gets, the more effective they essentially become and the more damage they can inflict on your opponents, depending on where they are on the map. So if you're able to hold on to them and get eliminations in other ways, look at this. Going into this next zone, we have 39 players remaining. That's a lot of damage you can inflict with those stink bombs. So if you're able to really just utilize them closer to like the 7th, 8th, even 9th zone, you know, they're just going to be more and more powerful.
Exactly. You talk about other ways as well. Johnny making sure that he has his own box and lair set up, and then him and his duo, kind of unorthodox. I haven't really seen it too much before. Fire 2 layers up and pick up both parts of the duo that they ended up eliminating. A lot of stuff available for them as well to switch over to combat. Upgrades, drum guns for the end of the game, because as you said, the zone closes up. These close range guns, that's what pops off over and over again. They have the option of smokes as well. There's a rift being able to be taken by Johnny as well. We'll see if he can capitalize on that in this box. Or just making sure everything is taken up, everything's being tallied, turrets being dropped and traded. There is a rift going on now. As the zone just starts moving, there are 22 duels left alive, so placement is not up yet. You know, West is still pretty fat stacked. We'll see what these guys can get up to as the rift pops up.
Yeah, and you can see what he did there. He actually popped the rift and then picked up the shadow bombs there, so making sure that he isn't leaving a spot open in his inventory, fully utilizing all of the mobility he has. But look at all of these players here up in the sky. I think I counted over 10 of them are up there, just, you know, soaring through the sunset.
Yeah, another rift pops as well. Really good view on the sunset. Some people more sunnier than others. We'll see if they don't get lost in those clouds, as there are so many people landing. This is where, if you're in the middle of the pack, it's very, very hard to get your own definitive lair. So that's what everyone's going to be trying to do. These rings might also get in the way, these slipstream rings that are kind of disabled at the moment because, you know, a little bit of randomness happens here and there. It gets a little bit jumbled up. But now Johnny taking control of that high ground, pressuring an individual in zone. Legend now gets knocked down, his ranking going all the way down to novice or rookie. No more legend status for you there, my friend. Johnny now moving out. 3 elims. Dade is still alive as well. They have this insurance with the smoke, so they can wait all the way up on height, be very, very generous with how much time they spend here, and then pop off when the moment seems just right.
Yeah, and there's still 29 players alive, so this is probably one of the most populated lobbies we've seen all day. Johnny utilizing his traps, placing them down there, saying, you know what, this is my high ground. You are not going to take it, because if you do, you're going to get my high ground, but you're also going to get 150 damage inflicted.
Yeah, exactly. 17 duels now left alive as the 16 are now left. One of them goes down. This next elimination batch of elims coming out is going to make it so that the 15 points of placement goes across the rest of the lobby as well. Still a lot of insurance available. They have a launch pad as well to use as they start cleaning up the server, going up all the way to 8 elims. 13 duels left alive now. Outer gets outed. He's gone. No more indoor soccer for you, my friend. You just got kicked out of the lobby.
I think I met my match for a Pun Master, quite honestly. I'm quite enjoying this. Whoever put us together on the cast, kudos to you guys. This is great. Here we have Johnny again, just utilizing his assault rifle there to just try and put as much pressure. He has the ammo for it, so why not? Why not try to get knocked just like that? Takes out bot. Turret, he goes down completely. We see him not being able to make it out of the zone, unfortunately. We have Typical Gamer on mid-ground. Look at these Bolt boys. They're still up top, just raining shots down, Shy.
Yeah, we talk about knowing when to give up height, Pookie. These guys do not care at the moment. They have the advantage. They have the tools just in case it gets knocked down. It does not matter to them. They're going to try to exploit as much as they can, see if they can get any more angles on elimination. When do you think is the proper time to drop down from height, Pookie?
I mean, it really depends. If you know where people are on the map, if you know how many people are on low ground, how many are mid, and if you have anybody above you, just recognizing, you know, if there's other players that are fighting it out, you know, just utilizing that split second. It's really a split second decision, so it's hard to say, you know, when the right time is, but I would say A, knowing where everybody is on the map, and B, recognizing if there are people in fights. And here we see Zen just get taken out by Typical Gamer, not playing very typical to me at all, showing us that, you know what, he belongs here, he belongs in these qualifiers. But we have Johnny and Dade up top still just taking out Syllable. He falls down, Vibes goes down in mid-ground, and it looks to be now a 2v1v1, Shai.
Absolutely. We look at these guys finally getting to drop down near the end of the 9th circle. Johnny looking for any shots while Dade plays up for insurance. Typical Gamer in a very sandwichy spot, but there is no yummy, scrumptious, delicious dessert for him today as he gets knocked. Sizer also going down at the very end. Johnny dropping down, doing all the work, while his duo Dade gets up there and gives him the info to play it out.
I love that. I love when you see duos split like that. They recognized that it was going to be a 2v1. So what they did was, like you said, drop down. One plays a close quarter combat, applies pressure that way. The other one stays up top, raining down shots from above. You have two angles of pressure. And being that solo player, you know, your chances are not high that you're getting out of that alive.
Not at all. It's always a rough spot. We're speaking about rough spots and looking at them. FaZe Jarvis here, who is at the moment no shields, less HP. Than 100. Anything can kind of take him out. Just a head dink by an AK or anything that kind of touches him or breezes him is going to put him in a very more shambles position. Although, you know, when you're in these positions, your back's against the wall, that's where you start making these big desperate plays that players don't expect. A lot of loot available for them now. Tilt getting back up his shields all the way up to 24. He has a little bit of leeway now as well to play in with the zone. They have minis as well that Tilt takes. Jarvis kind of being left there stranded, but, you know, he's a good player. I know he can get it out. He can easily go out there, get some more elims, get his health topped off as well.
Yeah, it looks like Jarvis said, you know what, you take the minis. I'm just going to take this big shield here. Jarvis did pick up the RPG, but put it back down. So it's going to be interesting to see if they choose to pick that up. They may not have the ammunition for it, but in that position, Shai, do you pick up the RPG and just have it in your inventory, say over, for example, 2 bandages? Or do you just leave it and say, you know what, we're not going to see if we can pick up any more ammo. It's going to be a wasted slot. What do you do?
I mean, if you want to have a guarantee, if you want to just stick to your game plan and not get distracted, you know, tunnel visioning is a big thing that duos start to get into. Some people might play too much around the RPG. That's where practice comes in, right? Maybe these guys saw, and here we go, actually. This is another strat I was about to bring up. Sometimes you can carry the RPG, use all the rockets, and then take your bandages and be on with your day. But for the moment, it looks like they did find a few more rockets, are going to play off that RPG, giving away the bandages, making this their prime focus of utility. It's a very smart decision when players decide to keep one source of big bang momentum utility and then play around that, make that their win condition. And that's what Jarvis and Tilt are going to do, who are actually now looking a lot healthier in metal instead of brick now, in a very good spot to move out in the zone.
They're in an excellent position right now, but I really just have to point out here, we have 43 players alive, so the effectiveness of that RPG is going to be absolutely huge. When you have this many players in this small of a zone, it is chaotic, it is loud, shots are raining from everywhere, so utilizing this RPG and maybe, like you said, just dropping it later for other things might not be too bad of an idea when there are this many players vying for real estate on this map right now.
Yeah, they don't call it the Wild Wild West for no reason, as a lot of people are going to be switching layers. A big flick coming up from Jarvis. Holy moly, as he gets a nice head dink off. He gets Pepe off on rotation as well right before the launch pad. Him and Jarvis now going to be moving up Tilt. We'll see if he can pick up anything. Both players putting in the same amount of work as they find their own layer to pop off on.
Yeah, and you can see there Tilt actually utilizing the slipstream as cover. Did you see he was kind of floating down beside it because he recognized that there were players in front of him, and you can do that. They will block shots. It's a form of natural cover, so very, very high IQ play coming out of FaZe Tilt. I wouldn't expect anything less.
Exactly. It's all about being dynamic, seeing that 1 second decision and taking less than a second to confirm that decision. It saves you mats, saves you health, saves you a lot of things. Now you can utilize that position, that advantage on HP, just as Tilt's doing here. Some shots coming in, but that reload, unfortunately, being something that stops him from the eliminations. Their top is going to get dropped down as they drop down as well. Tilt, Jarvis getting stuck in his own pyramid. Shadow Bombs coming out. Luckily, someone did edit a door as they both jump out, hopefully sticking together. One of the big things duos have is getting lost on these rotation solo items where there's one person in a ball, one person in the shadow. But by week 10, this is where people are kind of used to everything. They've practiced with it a lot, and they just pop off. Tilt now looking for any angles with that heavy sniper to follow up with. Not sure where Jarvis is for the moment. 26 duos left alive as we get, or 26 players left alive, excuse me, as we get towards the placement points. Dard getting picked up from the backside of the zone. Tilt's going to be moving through, taking a bit of zone damage off of that as well. Will it be worth it? He's going to lose a lot of shield too, blocking someone off. Jarvis very low, gets eliminated. 15 duos now left alive, so Tilt did pick up those placement points along with a few Elim points as Rex gets picked up as well. And it's coming down, not his floor though, on the edge of Storm. Destroyer carnage on the backside of zone as he destroys his opposition. Bumboy going down towards Stinks. Destroyer actually almost makes it out but falls to the Storm. Landon and Cortex on height now. Crayon going to be moving around a lot of different layers available, but it's actually kind of unique, Pookie. The height is not too high at the moment. What does that kind of spell for the rest of the game for those mid and low ground tarps?
I mean, it's much easier for them to know and recognize who is on high ground at that point, but they have to be very careful because it does not take much for Cortex or Landon to just make the play and make the decision to drop down. We talked about this a little bit earlier on. You know, these players on NA West, they are vying for one spot. So you're going to see these plays just like this where Cortex makes that split decision to just take out the box. That player does fall down. That was Flair. He is out of this game. We have a few people still in mid ground, but we have Landon down at the bottom with Aldum. Aldum is by himself. He is by himself. Lucas got taken out earlier, so Synergy Aldum just by himself here. It is going to be a 2v1. Shy, we've seen it so many times before. Call this one.
Cortex and Landon on the top side of this Storm. It is the 9th circle, so it will be closing out in about 50 seconds here. Can Aldum pull this together? He does have the mats, but can the mats survive the spray? Landon now going for a few angles, but Aldum sensing that drops down another layer. This is his last layer, though. Dodging that combat shotgun shot. Landon taking a little bit of zone damage and receiving some damage from Aldum in return as well. Cortex now has to be the brains of this group as he has the most shield. Will he drop down first? Will Landon play insurance? No, they're going to send Landon down. Nope, they're going down together actually, playing off of edits. Aldum finally taking 50 shots to his shields. His shields drop down. The 2v1 just perfectly played there. Did lose a little bit of HP on the initial push, but at the end of the day, these guys clean it up. Very nice janitorial services, and they get through with that game. Very dope.
Very well played by those two. We've seen it time and time again. You know, I love duos just because they're so dynamic, but every time we see the 2v1, my heart just sinks. I feel for that solo player. I've been in that position so many times myself. Your heart is pounding, the blood is pumping, but no time for that. We are taking a look at Ghost, Aiden, and Ghost, Sean. Aiden participating in the Pro-Am this past weekend. I had the opportunity to talk with him, and you know, just a great guy all around. I love to see him in these qualifiers doing well, and he is going to actually be pushing forward and pressuring this box here. There are two players inside of it. He makes the edit. He gets the shot off of Refined. Refined goes down, and Ghost Aiden coming in with the cleanup there and says, you know what? Where's your partner?
Exactly.
I'm gonna look for him. Aiden smells blood right now, and he gets Espaz. Espaz is gone. Aiden making quick work of the edits, just the flicks. Absolutely incredible player, deserves everything. Aiden, I love you.
Absolutely. He's using this cool trick that you can, I think, only do on controller for the moment. So one advantage to them where they can actually shoot and wall replace at the same time because their button functionality is a little bit different from the PC players. So him using that twice to actually take the advantage of those opponents' walls, you know, ping might be a factor, might not be, but very, very smart knowledge there, knowing when to use those tricks, when they can be a bit too overbearing. He cleans it up though very, very nicely, gets some easy shots as Arkram now is going to be, he's going to be up top in the leaderboards actually with Falconer as well. We'll see if they can pop off at this moment. 42 points for them. They have the Chug Splash, 6 minis, 2 Shadow Bombs as well. So they're sitting very, very nice on rotational items, but Arkram is rocking that tac shotgun, obviously not a combat, might hurt him on those long range engagements when he needs to follow up if he can't use his heavy AR. We'll see what these guys can do on this low ground.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of players opting for the combat shotgun over the tactical shotgun, just because, like you said, for range it is a little bit better. But Slight falling to Arcrum there, just a few quick shots with his heavy AR, just taking him out there completely. Falconer kind of just hanging out back. I think he knows that Prequel is there. He understood that 100%, getting the edit out. And Plart, Prequel's partner, is staying back there as well. So let's see if Falconer and Arcrum go for the engagement here. They've already got a little bit of damage inflicted on them, but it looks as though they are opting at this point to maybe just disengage for now.
Absolutely. They're also really, really good on mats on this low ground tarp as well, so they could tunnel in if they wanted to. They do have rotation as well. Aiden and Sean are going to be controlling that mid to high ground section. Sean now busting out 30 HP taken from Storm. Will it be worth it? Will his position rule at the end of the day? We'll see him trying to fight for height. Pyramid's up, going to stick with the mid ground there. A person in his box as Sean goes down to Valifen. Valifen going to be finishing up that elimination. Aiden now looking out, going to be playing this game solo. As you said, it's so hard, but they've done work in the lobby already, Pookie. 8 eliminations available or taken from them from the server. Punisher also in this game as well, so a lot of high ranked on the leaderboards individuals. We'll see how it all pans out. Aiden now on his last smoke on the 6th Storm. Now he's going to have to use his brains, his understanding of when to pressure, his knowledge on how people are rotating on the map. Right now looking for a horizontal peak. A lot of shield damage coming out. No defense from Prequel. He goes down. Aiden picking up the duo. Plart and Prequel both falling to his Tommy gun spray, his patented Tommy gun spray as well. He's going to see if he can get one more peek out. No, now on rotation. Pressure versus positioning here is the question of the game. That trap blocking a sight line as well as that metal goes straight to opaque from see-through. Landjock, Punisher actually going down from that duo. Landjock taking a bunch of storm damage but phases up one tier of tarp. He's going to be easily surviving this moment, but will he be able to live a little bit longer with that less of HP?
Yeah, and it looks like Aiden is going to take this moment to maybe just try and get a big shield off. He isn't going to be able to. The storm is right on his back. He did take 10 damage there, so he's going to be very careful. He needs to get a siphon here. He needs to get some kind of knock. Aiden breaks out of the box with 75 HP. Can keep doing this. He needs to keep going. He needs to try and get himself healed up, and this is exactly the play that I wanted to see coming out of Aiden right now. Using the campfire to get that a little bit more effective health. He wasn't unfortunately able to get any shields off. He is going to really have to try and get some time to get those two added to his name if he wants any shot at lasting in this game right now.
Circles. Health is what most people love to have. We'll see if he as the combat
Elims, Falconer there. Where
V in a box, but get one, or maybe he fell down to the pressure. Very, very clean win from Falconer there.
Very, very clean indeed. Falconer and Arcrum pulling out 11 eliminations, securing themselves that victory royale. Congratulations to those two. We are just getting started with these NA West games. They are on fire in this region right now. Bala, have you been watching?
I have. We're about halfway through NA West, and that is just a presentation of why Falconer and Arcrim are at the top of leaderboards and why they've already qualified. Zeke, we've got some stuff to look at, some highlights, some breakdowns from those last 4 games.
For sure, my man. Let's take a look at Bolt, Johnny, and Dottie. This dynamic duo, I mean, they just represent what you should be doing here, right? Like, this is going to be the skill gap you're looking to achieve all the time. You know, we've heard from several players as far as like 12-hour days of nothing but Fortnite. And this is what this translates to, right? Bolt, Johnny, and Dottie together, they're just maintaining high ground, tearing through players in these late game circles. Now we're going to be watching them through until a victory royale here. And just watch, you know, you can see a lot of team coordination, knowing when to tarp, when to have your dual partner apply pressure. And you see Dottie there on Johnny's left, and he just continued team fire, right? And in this moment, Johnny's like, all right, I need to tarp out, keep our momentum going. We cannot be stopping for anything. We have to be ready to move. And again, just knowing how to navigate fights, knowing how to isolate enemies and lock them down. It's very important, especially in these moments, right? Like, you make a simple mistake and it's going to cost you. Here, they just get the drop and shut the player down. Massive victory out for them. Now, Cortex and Landon here, similar kind of situation in the late game. We saw not that long ago, just the way they kind of terrorize this entire lobby. And this is almost a textbook win, right? They're in a 2v1 right now. Cortex taking the lead, Landon trying to split attention there for just a moment, just to distract the enemy players. But of course, now we get to take a look at the standings.
Yeah, so Arcrim and Falconer with that win that we just saw, pushing themselves up to 61 points. But of course, this duo is already qualified. So right now, it's Epic Whale and 40R Storm who are getting that one spot that they need. And of course, this duo is kind of a last-minute change, right? We usually see Epic Whale with Sealmat, but 40R Storm and Epic Whale have qualified in solo. So who knows? Maybe this is the formula that you need to get to New York and NA West.
Yeah, I mean, they're making it work for them, right? Sitting here in second place with the 49 points. So don't forget, there is only the single spot. So if they stay just below Falconer and Arkham, that means they could potentially qualify. But don't forget, we've only got a handful of games played, right? You said it best. We're halfway through, but there's still anyone could jump up, right? Look at from 49 down to 42. That's a 7-point differential. That's just one good game. Hitting top 5 will net you the difference there, right?
And again, this spot really is not counted. Obviously, they're doing the best. They're going to get that #1 spot in the prize money, but this is all what we're talking about. I mean, 49 to 42, you just said it, 7 points. That's nothing. That really isn't anything at all. But some of these other guys as well, we just talked about Dade and Johnny. We broke down that win. They're at 43 right now. They've got 3 games played, so they're starting to heat up a little bit, and that's typically what we see from them. Zeke, they always start at the top of the leaderboard early, but then end up falling down slightly a little bit. We also want to take a moment to check out, you know, what's going on the socials, Zeke.
Yes, so in case that you maybe didn't hear, we actually have a new Twitter handle that is FN Competitive. Check it out. That is going to be your go-to for all things Fortnite competitive going on in the future. Check it out. Send it a follow. We'll constantly be posting updates of things coming up. We've got Trios tournament, Fortnite World Cup Finals. This is all going to be like the new one-stop shop.
Yeah, it's
one-stop shop.
I don't know.
I think that's right.
One-stop shop. You got it.
Yeah,
we'll got it. Hey, there's
anyway,
clips, everything there. I've been checking it out all day. It's awesome. You got to throw it a follow. But with that, we need to get back into the games. And we're going to throw it over back to Shy Wager and Pookie.
Thank you, Bala.
Don't mind us. We're just over here playing around with filters on our phone. It's actually hilarious. I didn't hear anything Zeke just said there. Doesn't really matter, probably. But hopping right back into these NA West games, we're looking up for Corey right now and his duo partner, Brogstar. We saw them play a little bit earlier. These guys look like they have a ton of synergy, but, you know, I suppose you're going to get that when you are playing together for 12 hours a day. And just a little bit of a side note here, I just got word that Bracori was actually a golden ticket winner. He did play in the Creative Showdown at on the games this weekend. He was on the Little Whip team, so kudos to him for, you know, showing up and saying, you know what, I can play more than just creative games. I've got this competitive edge in me as well.
Absolutely. Back when TwitchCon was a thing, I actually think I had a conversation with Precori. We were about to duel for a second, but the regional difference with him being west and me being east kind of blocked that entire engagement out. He has been grinding for a long time, though. A little bit of name changes going out here and there as well, but, you know, always staying OG to that broccoli start from the get-go. He's going to be kind of having some trouble on mid-ground here, so we'll see if he can actually own up and get height. He is going to be solo duo now. Jaeyoung going up for a quick elim, getting blocked, but his duo comes in from the sky, Batman style, and breaks in through the skylight, picking up that next elimination as well, saving the time from that engagement. That's a big thing, especially when you're fighting on these big mid and high ground layers. The more time you take, the more your fight expands, the more you get into risky positions, the more you can get into trouble. So Jaeyoung and his duo just playing that timing perfectly, and now have a nice perch to set up on Pookie. We'll see if they can find any angles when they're looking out up top.
Yeah, and just to your point, Shai, actually, now that you mention it, you know, ever since the introduction of the combat shotgun and the pump being vaulted, you know, I feel like engagements are lasting a little bit longer. You're not getting the one-shot pump shotgun to the face anymore and ending engagements really just like that. So, you know, an excellent point to bring up there, and just really recognizing that, you know, engagement time does matter, especially when you get into these late zones and having to rotate into the next. Trying to get your opponents taken out as quickly and as efficiently as possible is key.
Yeah, I can feel that combat nerf there, as well as those shots hit for about a total collective of 15 damage, usually hitting for a lot more. Maximo might be frustrated at that, but he does have a lot of mats and 3 elims going on to this stick circle rotation. We'll see if he can grab height as he 90s up, blocking off the competition. Very smart placements of floors as he moves up as well from tier to tier of height. He's going to start focusing down on the backside of the storm. That's instinct to a lot of good players at this moment now. 10 weeks of practice, you know exactly where to look when you're done rotating. Maximo now going up for that big call to take out this whole mid-ground layer. Can they find shots on this newly builded brick now? We'll see if he can get into a better vantage point. Psych looks like he might have died to the storm, or got eliminated to the storm when these guys were moving in. He got a little bit of a damage tag on him there. Maximo doing a really good job of keeping a track and eye on storm circle or in the zone at the moment.
Yeah, and Jaeyoung actually doing a really great job of tarp where they're walking right now, because they are on ultimate high, is completely reinforced, and they Maximo having a little bit of trouble here getting out of this storm. Does take 2 ticks of storm damage, but does recover nicely. Hits for 15. There isn't going to get a knock or an elimination, but it doesn't matter because Jaeyoung and Maximo are on maximum height. But look at Howl going up there in the baller, just making is a little bit of a distraction against these two. Unfortunately, Howl raining down shots at this point. They are still 16 players alive. They
of shots. Does he have a landing spot? Left, the chug splashes coming in. Is it enough? Pash hit the storm. Oh my lord! Jaeyoung! The last second clutch! The chug splashes! The third time we've seen it today, and probably the most clutch we've seen it as well. As he gets the top spot. Most IQ I've seen in a high ground hold ever from any region so far today. Holy moly guacamole.
Holy moly guacamole, indeed. That was absolutely wild. Recognizing that he still had those 2 utility slots that he hadn't used, the Rift to go and the Chug Splash, playing that perfectly. Somebody needs to clip that on stream. Please shout it out to me or Shy at PookieFace, hashtag Fortnite World Cup. I want that one to go on my little wall of clips that I have on my desktop at home, because that was amazing.
Yeah, not only using that Rift to relocate, but then popping off those chug splashes as well, isolated. Talking about isolated now, Vibes finding someone on the low ground as well, once again utilizing these vertical positionings that happen. A trap coming down, looks like it takes out the ball that Kickback had, or the ball that was in their turtle at the moment. More focus coming down to the same place they got an elimination earlier. This is smart, as they know someone is going to be going for that loot. They can use it kind of as a set trap or bait for people to come in and see. Slipstream's still up and alive right now. You think anyone can catch them as they're moving around? Rexy's actually taking a little bit of damage going through.
Yeah, and there's so much building here. You know, if you do want to utilize the Slipstream, you could possibly do it and land on top of any one of these players' builds, but really nobody in there right now. We're taking a look at Iota, and we have Vectical here as well, looking very, very good. And like, they do have that new proximity grenade launcher there. How are you feeling about that item so far in the game?
So the Proxim launcher is very interesting just because it does pack such a wallop, but at the same time takes an essential slot that everyone already has, you know, determined for their playstyle and their, you know, building, their rotations. So at the moment, although it is a very strong item, it's very situational, and you do have to give up, you know, say smokes, a heavy sniper, stuff that's been true and tested. It still is a very new item, in my opinion. Duos have been using it to turn tides, but at the same time, you know, which duos are we not seeing, because they do get eliminated at some point in the game. Just like right now, we see Iota going up with Vectical at the moment. 2 Shadows and a Proxim launcher still available at the moment. Will they get the wall replaced? A Stink, no, Chug Splash is coming down as his duo holds. This is a very dynamic fight. An edit coming through. Angel coming up with the pop, but does finally go down as he gets picked up. Aspire goes down as well. Now Iota has to move out by himself. Unfortunately, his duo does go down in that engagement, but they do pick up those 2 Elam points. So will that be worth it going forward? Would it be better for both of them to stay alive for placement, or would it be better for those Elam points to come through and then the possibility of a solo person playing for placement? Pookie, what do you think?
I mean, Iota certainly has his work cut out from him. There's still so many players left in this lobby. I think at this point he is in mid-ground, so if he can lay low for a little while, hope that these other players kind of take each other out, eliminate each other, he can kind of sneak in under the radar. If he does opt to go for placement points, that would probably be his best play. But here we are looking at Dade again. Johnny is still alive as well. 46 points so far on the leaderboard for these boys. They also have 3 eliminations between the 2 of them. I am waiting for these guys to pop off, Shai.
They're almost at their natural element. High ground is where these guys perform. We saw it last game. They're so good at just looking down, just like this. Morten getting popped. Dade just looking left and right. 23.76 ping won't be enough for that individual to stay alive. Favs now fighting for height, decides to slow down. Him and his duo actually look like they're up there. No, that is a fight happening. A lot of Rifters now coming down left and right. Golden up top. We'll see if he can stay shiny while he looks at everyone else down in the server. A lot of people still rifting. Looks like the Bolt boys are up top as well. Not sure where Johnny is. He's right below Dade, actually. A lot of hard mats now being used. It's going to be very hard for people to just pickaxe in the boxes. It's going to take a little bit more time. Once again, now they're going to be choosing to stay on mid-ground, not fighting for height just yet. They do have a lot of mats, so maybe they're waiting for the rest of the lobby to use all their mats in these fights, then take it. 90's coming in now. We'll see if Dade can go up top. Johnny already up there. He's going to be adjusting his path left and right. Not only does this give him the movement option, but the angles for the shots as well, as he's going to be sneaking behind using enemy builds, finally catching up. On the backside, a big 130 shot going down on Golden, all the way getting dropped to bronze now. Unfortunate for him. Shots getting up, down, or from up, getting shot from up top to down low now. This is where these guys have that insane accuracy. What do you make of this huge build?
Well, look at what happened. So Johnny was completely separated from Dottie in that position. He was at 50 HP. Dottie absolutely just cranking the 90s, working his way up the side of that mountain to get up to Johnny, ends up taking out players on his way and then utilizing those chug splashes to heal his partner up. That is the duo partner you want.
Absolutely. You want someone that can support you, but also attack. You know, protect, attack.
Protect, attack, gives health back.
Absolutely. That was sick. I'm not gonna lie. That was really good. 200 mats left now. As more elims come up top, it's just relaxed for these guys. Another day in the park, another walk on the beach. It's just easy comings for them. Shots getting shot up from the bottom side now, but since they are on brick, it's going to be nice and supported. Oh, Geo, oh no, taking a lot of storm damage coming in from a launch pad. Sometimes you do have to dip in the storm to make sure you don't take any shots. He finally goes down. Now, it looks like it's a 2v2v1 as Prolo and Pear are looking up and down. Very dynamic, looking for all the elims. Fruity finally goes down as Prolo challenges height, kind of buying Pear time to see if he can see anything from the down low, kind of baiting Johnny and Dade up. Prolo and Pear now going to be looking side by side, not staying in the same box. Smart stuff, so the pressure isn't applied to both duos at the same time. They do look a little bit stressed on mats, though. If this shot keeps happening from up top, the pressure does not stop. They've actually, Johnny and Dade confirmed so many elims and then got the fruitions from them, the mats. We'll see if that will hold true. Johnny finally getting dropped. Prolo goes for a shot, does not connect. They're both in storm. Prolo goes down. Dade up top, has to stay on a campfire. Pear, if he gets this elim, can get the siphon, but it doesn't go through. The Bolt boys back to back, popping off. Just easy comings, easy games.
I said they had to pop off.
Yeah.
And they did. I mean,
Nice.
I don't want to say it was because of me, but it was probably actually not because, well, it was kind of.
Is that chug jug splash?
It was because of me and possibly also their skill and mechanical plays in the game. But, you know, here we are hopping into the next game. I don't really even know what I'm saying today. I think I have the Z curse or something like that. I'm saying random things and just kind of going with it. But here we have, is it Bo QT?
Yeah, it looks like it's Bo QT and Cold
Bo QT and Cold QT. Couple of cuties here, just sitting in their cone, kind of utilizing, I know you can't really see it, but there would be an edit there. They use that to visualize everything. So if you're sitting in cone, you can edit it out and kind of peek through it just a little bit. They are holding it on there, the edit, just to, you know, make quick work if they are having to move or if they do see an opportunity to take people out. And you can see people actually rifting through the sky. He does take that opportunity to take out Razzie. Razzie, unfortunately, getting to take the L dance done to him. You hate to see it, Shy.
Absolutely. Right now, too, Bo, although he can play around his builds, has to play around a gray tack as well. So we'll see if they do end up surviving. We go back to our featured duo that was there before, Jarvis and Tilt, both going to be in ballers as well. They do have a chug splash as well to use. They're going to be going left and right, utilizing the speed boost and momentum for looking the right way. When you hit that boost on the baller, there is kind of a skill gap if you do want to be very efficient. Tilt kind of going in between builds and a fall behind Jarvis. Will this prove bad for the duo? Jarvis still looking healthy. These guys do have 4 eliminations right now as we move in to the 5th moving circle. He's going to be looking to get a nice position. Looks like these guys finally got high ground, almost securing their balls.
Almost.
Tilt, or their ballers. Tilt's baller going down. Jarvis and Tilt now on the highest point in the map as the other individuals have to kind of hop off from Geyser's not going to be available to come down. Is it going to cost too much, though, as those combat shots are coming in? Astra getting switched on by that AR. Maybe, you know, Tilt saying it's time to beam.
You know what?
Enough of the pop shots.
Enough of the pop shots. Although he only had 36 HP left,
Yeah.
or less, because, you know, it was just one shot there with the AR. But you know what? I mean, better to go for that. If the first shot accuracy, it's a way easier shot than try to, you know, pump pellets into somebody from 100 yards away.
Absolutely.
But here we are taking a look again at Cold and Bo, just sitting in mid-ground, not really trying to go for anything. They have 1 elimination each. They are playing very, very safe right now. What do you make of this, Shai? Why are they playing so safe?
I mean, they're looking for options. A lot of good duos when they have this much flexibility in their actual loadout build. You know, they have the heals, they have the rotation, they have the beam, they have the close range shots. They have options. It's not always good to force out one type of game style because you might have another one pop up in just 2 seconds. So they're probably just trying to feel out the server, use their position for that 6 zone, see how the server and the players in them will treat their rotation, their position, and then play off of it that way. Once again, they probably don't want to get too close to people as well, as Bo only has that great tack. These beams coming in greatly, getting a lot of pressure eliminations left and right, up and down. Cold playing on a D-pad basically with this shot that he has. Just insane, hitting every single bullet that he fires. Cold now moving forward, 5 elims for these guys, 21 duos left alive, so we're not at placement just yet, but points being picked up by these reactive and proactive duos as well as they make things happen. Dolphins goes down as the Chug Splashes come up. Really cool interaction where one person can still shield up and get health as they're moving around on the map. What do you think is going to happen this game with Cold and Bo? You think they're going to pop off?
I mean, they literally just went from 2 to 6 eliminations between the two of them. So exactly like you said, looking for options. You called it perfectly. These guys are probably just waiting it out. Knew that they didn't have the ability to, you know, do anything long range with Splodes or Snipes. So they were waiting for people to get close to them. But here we have Yagi and Lucas getting rifted out there. Yagi putting a ton of damage onto his opponents there and really pressuring them, but he is going to pull his umbrella early, take a look, see maybe if he can make a play for high ground. We have Destroyer at the very top with his duo there. 25 players remaining, 17 duos left. We're about to hit top 15, and Yagi said, you know what, I can't actually take high ground. I'm just gonna go down here, you know what, play it a little bit safer. I don't know where Lucas is. Did he get separated? Oh, nope, there he is, just dropped right in, right as I said it.
Like a feather just drops from the skies.
So
He's
graceful.
Gonna link up with his partner. Yagi now trying to get into a box. 8 elims on him right now as Lucas is playing kind of the support role in this duo. Shots coming in, a trap available. It is his, so he can bypass it. Dart
Wow, the flicks.
Oh. Now missed too many shots, and every shot. So they could be in the running when we get those. Great time. Must be of much use now. These guys are going to have to take. This is my game. I'm looking good doing it. The QT combo comes in from start to finish.
Yeah, they were definitely looking cute in that last match. Indeed, Cole just showing them how it is done. But here we are getting into another match. We are over by Salty Springs this time.
And Old Man Mountain as well, as Sundown always says. 1 hour left on West, and in this moment too, if this zone bounces back the wrong way, it could spell disaster for all these low ground individuals who are in the map as well. All these people trying on this West server for that one spot, the last chance for the Fortnite World Cup. The zone does look like it's moving into Salty as Farboot. You can put that on YouTube if you want. That's going to be a big bop.
Booted back to the lobby, 100%. Now, you saw there how they utilized just breaking the pyramid there, utilizing the heavy snipe to then just completely take him out. That was so well coordinated, so well played. Sceptile just using the launch pad here to rotate over. His teammate Chio is just behind him right now. They are getting shot at a little bit, but he isn't going to take too much damage. They do have a ton of healing between them, so we're going to have to see if Chio can join him. They can utilize the chug splashes, but Chio says, you know what, no, there's a player up here, and I think I want to keep an eye on him right now. He may have made a little bit of a mistake, because now you can see how much health he effectively has left.
Yeah, I think when Sceptile actually took that launch pad, it got shot out by someone in the actual safe circle of the storm, and then Chio was forced to use one of his Rift to Ghost to actually get out of that situation. Chio now getting finished off by that stink grenade by 100 Thieves Sir Demetrius, Sir D. It's going to be amazing to see how he can come back. Maybe he can also qual. It's always up to, 1 hour left, 2 or 3 pop-off games. It's always easy, or not really that easy, to have that confidence to pop off, to get those spots in. A care package actually available right now for any duo that's risky enough to go get it. Looks like it's being boxed over. That could change the tides of the game for individuals. But as I said, it is a risk. A lot of pressure gets put down on those individuals, Asset and Garrett, when they try to make that play.
Yeah, and you can see here Bay Soldier and Sir D just sitting up in the box right now. I got to shout out to Bay Soldier, a good friend of mine. We play together often. I love seeing him in these games because I love seeing how he plays when he is not having to put me on his back and carry me. Now we have Cypher, PK, and Ranger actually down at the low ground. I caught these guys. I caught a little bit of Cypher's stream last night when he was trying to qualify for today with Ranger. These two looked so strong together. Game after game, they had a plan and they follow it. I don't think they really deviate much from the plan unless they're absolutely forced to. And going into these games, Shy, and not only just knowing that you have a plan, but also not deviating from it, even though you really want to. Ranger just gets the knock on SJ. SJ goes down. He's down. He's going to end up finishing him off, breaking out of the box there to rotate over, uses the Rift, pulls up Cypher, and they are out of there. They net themselves one more elimination, putting this duo at a
down, a very nice relaxed leisurely time, trying to find as many humans as possible. But Rippers are coming up from up top. How would you prioritize Pookie when people are coming up from up top? You have to get elims down low. What is the focus usually when you're trying to maintain height?
I think honestly, like looking into the sky, trying to, those are free elimination fish, Shy. You know what? Like those guys were hanging in the sky for so long. I've seen time and time again these players are able to just completely knock players out of the sky like that. So if you are well tarped and you have the floors and the pyramids protecting you, I think looking above is key. And just like that, we see Cypher taking out another player down below. So prioritizing people above you first to make sure they're A, don't look high down, and B, maybe you get a quick win is probably the best route to take them.
That's absolute facts, because that is the priority, that's the trouble you have on your layer. And then, just like Cypher did, you can just focus down and pick up anyone else on that low ground. The day up in this game is over. Base holding out, knocked down to a lower tier of height in the game. Shadow bombs available, but a baller as well as Opa is going to be forced to actually move around on foot in this zone. The baller might not be the best option moving around this cluster of low ground where there's so many builds. The baller has to bounce off multiple times as well. Cruise finally goes down. Opa has to move on by himself. Does get a nice back shot towards an enemy who is not focused on the storm. You always got to protect your back as you're moving through. You never know who's going to have that much trouble moving in into circle. Open out smartly going up one height layer as well onto the mid-ground. Base Soldier getting knocked down as well as Opa just continues his tirade on the whole server up on a campfire. Not sure if he recognizes, has no more mats left, so he can't go for the wall replace. Only has his reactions, his true whip, has his flicks up as well. Can he do it? Oh, 2 HP, the Base Soldier Elon comes clutch for him to get his first Cypher HP up, but he did end up dodging the shots. His movement is so good, but not good enough there as Wild picks him up. Ranger now on the bottom, picking up the back of Wild's. Mercs gets marked as well. Ranger hunting everyone else in the server. Septal, who we saw earlier with these combo snipes and these state-related usages all across the map, is going to have height in this one.
Yeah, and it's a 1v1v1, so Ranger had to unfortunately say goodbye to Cypher in that moment and just keep going with Septal at the top. Both versus duo, both loves duo. And Ranger down at the bottom. Looks like there's going to be a little bit of a play here for high ground. Both end up taking it from Septal, who was trying to do a little bit of a heal off, but Ranger's just sitting at the bottom waiting. Let's see, Ranger does have the most health at this point out of anyone.
Septal does have that chunk splash, but it's not enough. Looks like he might have just ran out of mats. LV's duo takes over that height, but Ranger with the shootout. LV goes down. You can build up, but you have to stay supported. You have to have that foundation, and it just wasn't there. Balla, did you see that? What do you make of it, man? The West is wilding up.
I did see that, and really what it's, the question I have right now is, are they really silencing their haters? Everybody says they spend too much time creating awesome content, but Cypher, PK, and Ranger, with that win and their performance in week 8, they've got to, start to silence these guys.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we literally just were talking about it. These guys are grinding and working their butts off, and this is the product of it, right? Like, they're showing everyone, hey, we deserve to be here. Though, I have pulled some fun little clips if you want to take a look at you. I know, it's crazy, right? Let's hop right into some of the action, starting things off with Maximo. Those rifling skills are absolutely insane. Also, this combat shotgun flick. Also, tiny baby shout out to Blocker, actually known as E3. Super chill dude. He's very excited. And I was very excited to meet him. One of the best players in the West, too. Yeah, absolutely. Like this, right? Jay Young's 90,000 IQ play. Ron dropping down into the tree and just using the chug splash.
I love how he lands in the tree at the perfect spot that breaks the line of sight on the way, too. So that's just fun.
You love to see him, of course. I highlighted him a little bit earlier on in the last package we did here, but of course, Bolt, Dade, and Johnny. Don't forget, right? So in case Johnny isn't on your radar, Johnny is the winner of the Blackheart Cup. Like, he's the first controller player to win a major tournament, and now to see him, like, this is why I like highlighting this duo specifically, because this is a duo I believe can qualify. I think they have everything there. They've got to put all the pieces together, and they could potentially see a qualifying spot, and they continue to have pop-off performances, right? And especially, like, look at this right hand angle. You know he's trying to do everything. The player jumps out and he's ready with the nice little duck and weave. This is the kind of play you need to be bringing to the finals if you're looking to qualify.
And they are reaping the benefits of excellent play because they're in second place right now, right under Archer and Falcon, but they've already qualified. So this is the spot right now that you want to be in, and we saw last time we did it with the San Exit. The spread was only 7 points. Now, the Bolt duo right here are starting to thin that, to extend that lead a little bit more.
Yeah, and this is why I kind of want to highlight them, right? These guys are slayers. Do not sleep on them. Keep in mind, they also have the 5 games played as opposed to someone like Punisher Lenz, like they have the 6. You've got this duo here that has 6, even 7. They've built themselves a hefty lead. They're 8 points. It sounds like not that much, but it kind of is. 8 points is a really great game, right? So these guys could catch up, but
listen to Jay Young, that clutch.
Yeah.
What puts him here in 3rd place right here. Ooh, what a clutch play. That could, depending on how his next game goes, I'm not sure where he ended up after that, or if this is new information, but he could push himself up into that, or 2nd place right now is what it's looking like, because Alkner and Falconer are leading the pack. But regardless, before we finish up, we've got about an hour left here on NA West. We're going to go ahead and take a break, refresh ourselves, and then come right back to watch the epic conclusion of NA West. We've only got 1 spot left. Don't go anywhere.
Fortnite fans? Sundown here, and today we're going to talk about the Tactical Assault Rifle and its addition to competitive play.
The Tactical Assault Rifle is probably one of the best additions to the game. It's a long-range weapon where you could save AR if you have a drum gun.
Small bullet, you can find everywhere, so it's a good weapon.
The Tactical AR is an uncommon, epic, and legendary weapon that utilizes light ammunition and has a high rate of fire. It does 22, 23, or 24 damage depending on rarity, has a pretty fast first shot accuracy timer, and a dope reloading animation. I mean, come on, just look at it. We've seen a lot of competitive players opt into using the Tactical Assault Rifle over the course of the Fortnite World Cup Online Open qualifiers. So let's hear from some of the players who qualified for the finals and get their thoughts on the TAR's addition to the game.
It's really good, like really good. Once you get to endgame scenarios like Fifth Zone and beyond and absolutely beams, it's very viable in meta right now. Everybody's been using it.
I like it because you can actually sneak up onto them. It has this low sound, so it's hard to hear.
It has its viability due to its first shot accuracy that can make it really strong, and the fall off damage isn't as strong as it was for the silent SFU, which got vaulted.
Our equipment gun's awesome for endgame because if you've got height, that gun can really get a lot of eliminations because it's like a laser, and people endgame tend to have less HP than they would towards the early mid game. So I think it's really strong in situations.
Thanks for watching. What are your thoughts on the Tactical Assault Rifle, and when do you like to use it? Send us your opinions using the hashtag Fortnite World Cup, and I'll see you on the battle bus, or maybe on the high ground with a TAC AR.
these two gentlemen that are about to join me to cast these next set of games. I've got Bala, I got Moose.
Apparently, Poopy Face is very easily impressed because I have impressed her.
I thought you were really about to go into Robot Zeke right there. No. It was very
Friday, and this is
more clutches. Let's hop into the game. Zeke, it's time. We got an hour left about an NOS piece. It's coming down to the wire.
Man, you know, if you know me, I'm getting stressed because I feel for all these players. I understand what they're going for, and I just want them all to be happy. So I stress out, you know, so I'm going to try and keep myself calm, cool, and collected. Probably not going to work out, but I just figured I'd be honest and upfront with you. Fluffbro going to be immediately beamed by Nibs here, and CLG Crispy, his duo partner. I'm liking what they've got going on right now.
They are. They're going to find 2 eliminations. Possibly add to the aggressive. Some of these guys, the pressure.
You know, someone Del can explain.
I can explain. I didn't mean to click there. I didn't mean to throw the stink.
You know,
my fault.
Sometimes it just came up. You just typically you'd want to say excuse me in those moments. You know, like I just released it. Excuse me. I did not mean to fart this gigantic, nauseous gas cloud. But things happen.
It might have been the elimination earlier, so they're excited a little bit. But Crispy and Nibs now are going to go ahead and use the launch pad to get towards the other side of the zone. This is where all these players right now are basing up and getting ready to, go for all the action that they can and let some of that pressure loose.
They got to try and make sure everyone else is feeling that pressure that you're talking about. Because again, this is the final dual qualifier. This is it. It is now make it or break it time. Phoenix A. Phoenix. Yeah. I'm just going to Phoenix A. Okay.
Very excited.
Yeah. Gets down there and now we're howdy. Hello. And Doom Softies are going to try and pick up that elimination. There you go. So where is his dual partner? Probably has just abandoned ship. He's like, you know what? I'm going to leave. Good luck. I need time for replacement because top 15, of course, is that first placement threshold. And that's probably, he's probably going to slow things down, right? Let me just make it there first. Maybe I'll get a cheeky you in here there. That's probably what's going to be happening.
Knowing that and knowing the position that he was in, kind of stuck on low ground, not really any space to edit away or even move your teammate away from where they possibly would be going for it. You get stuck there and left. Now, clean up. Shots with that combat shotgun, but of course, miss the shot. Reduced a little bit, but we're not seeing too much of players, deciding, hey, it's not that strong anymore on high ground. Oh! Just talking to you about this, Zeke. That's Johnny right there. We just said he was in that second place. Has the chances to go up there. I think his duo partner, Dade, is still up. Yes. Just pointed him out to me in the bottom right of the screen. We're getting close to that top 15, so just like you said earlier, Dade, you've got to survive here.
This is going to put Dade in a little bit of an awkward spot, right? Because you never want to lose your dual partner in any situation. You guys want to be alive as long as possible. I know that sounds like, of course, it's duos, yeah. Does, right? I know. But in all seriousness, the longer, if you're in position where you're in 1v2s, you're just a much more of an uphill battle right here. But both
there goes Dade. Zeke, you did get that top 15, so you completely lost cause in this game because that's 3 points, and I'm sure knowing them, they probably have some eliminations. They are so aggressive.
Yeah, for sure. And this means they can re-queue, right? Don't forget you've got 3-hour window to queue or 10 total matches. So again, right back in the action and keep things going. Right now, though, look at this circle. Look kind of where we're navigating. These players. Freaking out.